There's a page in my grandmother's ledger from the worst year of the Great Depression. The column where my grandfather's wages should be is almost empty, but the page isn't. It's filled with small entries in her careful handwriting. Egg money, board, mending, wash. A dozen little streams where the river had dried up. That page is how the family ate. Today, I'm walking you through 15 forgotten ways Americans made money when there were no jobs to be had, and most of them still work, including the one at the end that fed a family all winter, and almost nobody remembers it. Hey, welcome back. On this channel, we explore smart strategies to build your financial independence and navigate uncertain times. If you're new here, subscribe because we post videos about timeless money-making skills and forgotten wisdom. All right, let's start with number 1. Number 1, taking in a boarder. When the paychecks stopped, millions of American families looked at their spare room and saw a paycheck of their own. A school teacher, a railroad man, a young store clerk. Someone always needed a clean bed and 2 hot meals a day, and they paid for it every single week. For many families, that boarder's rent was the difference between keeping the house and losing it. The house itself went to work, and this one hasn't aged a day. A spare room is still one of the most dependable ways a household can bring in extra money. A long-term renter, a traveling nurse, a student. The asset you're already paying for starts paying you back. Number 2, egg money. A little flock of hens in the backyard, and suddenly the household had a product. The woman of the house sold eggs to neighbors and to the grocer in town, and that money had its own name, egg money. It was often hers alone to manage, and it bought the shoes, the school books, the small things that kept a family respectable through hard years. The lesson inside it is bigger than chickens. A small, steady product you can sell every week beats a big windfall you might see once. And today, fresh local eggs sell out at farm stands at a premium my grandmother wouldn't believe. Number 3, taking in laundry. Washing and ironing for the families who still had income, the doctor, the store manager, the foreman. It was hot, heavy work, but the demand never blinked because clean clothes are not optional in good times or bad. Women built regular weekly routes of customers and counted on that money like a wage. The principle is one of the sturdiest in this whole ledger. Sell a chore people hate, attached to a need that never pauses. Laundry services are thriving again right now for exactly that reason. Same trade, new century. Quick note before we continue, if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It helps the channel a lot. And comment below, what's one skill your grandparents used to make money? All right, back to it. Number 4, mending and the lost art of turning a collar. Here's a detail that tells you everything about that generation. A man's shirt always wore out at the collar first. So a skilled sewer would carefully remove the collar, flip it over to the fresh side, and stitch it back on. The shirt lived another year. Women who could mend, patch, take in, and let out charged small fees to make a family's clothes last, and they never ran out of work. Today, the person who can actually alter and repair clothing is rare, and rare gets paid. If you own a sewing machine and patience, you own a service. Number 5, bread and pie money. The oven was hot anyway, so they baked extra loaves for the neighbors, pies for the lunch counter in town, rolls for the church supper. Home baking turned flour into cash in a kitchen that was already running, which made it one of the cheapest businesses a family could start. It still is. Homemade baking is having a real revival, and people happily pay for what tastes like somebody's grandmother made it. One honest note if you try this today: every place has its own rules about selling homemade food, so learn yours before you sell your first loaf. Number 6, the market garden and the roadside stand. Front yards became bean rows, back lots became potato patches. And whatever the family didn't eat went out to a plank table by the road with a hand-painted sign, and, in a lot of places, just an honesty jar for the coins. The garden fed the family first and paid the family second. That double duty is why it belongs in the ledger. Today it's the farm stand, the farmer's market table, the note on the neighborhood board when your tomatoes come in all at once. Grown food never has trouble finding a buyer. Quick note before we continue, if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It helps the channel a lot. And comment below, what's one skill your grandparents used to make money? All right, back to it. So that's the home front, the room, the hens, the wash tub, the oven, the garden. But some of the best Depression money wasn't made at home at all. It was made from things other people threw away. That's next, and the one that fed a family all winter is still ahead. Number 7, the junk round, scrap metal, rags, bottles, old iron. The junk man and his wagon were a fixture of every American town, and children learned early that an empty lot was full of money if you knew what to drag home. Copper, brass, glass, nothing was garbage, because everything had a price somewhere. That eye for discarded value never stopped working. Scrap yards still pay by the pound today, and the modern version of the junk round is the curb find cleaned up and sold online. One person's throwaway is still, reliably, another person's payday. Number 8, the fix-it trade. When nobody can afford new, the person who can make old things work again is never idle. They sharpened knives and scissors door to door. They resoled shoes, patched pots, and repaired the radio, which, in those years, was the family's whole entertainment budget in one box. Here's what's changed since then. Almost everyone stopped learning to fix things, which means the repair skills themselves are now the scarce resource. Sharpening, furniture repair, small fixes of any kind, scarcity of the skill is the opportunity, and it's wide open. Number 9, the odd job round. Men and boys simply went and asked. Knock on a door, offer to paint the fence, clean the gutters, split the wood, wash the windows. Work wasn't posted anywhere. It was found by asking, politely and persistently, house after house. It took nerve, and the ones who had the nerve ate better. The door knock eventually turned into an app, but here's the quiet truth. Asking still works, and almost nobody does it anymore. Small, visible jobs are sitting undone on every street you drive down. Quick pause before number 10. Everything in this series comes from a much bigger collection I put together, my grandmother's whole system, 100 of these skills, gathered into one guide called The Forgotten Ledger. If you want the full collection in one place, it's linked right below this video. Okay, number 10. Number 10, hauling with what you had. A truck, or even a horse and wagon, was a business all by itself. Firewood in the fall, ice in the summer, coal in the winter, moving a family across town, or hauling away what they left behind. If it was heavy and it needed to go somewhere, that was a paying job. And this may be the most unchanged trade on the entire list. A pickup truck and a free Saturday still earn real money, deliveries, moving help, junk hauling. The wheels are different, the work is identical. Number 11, renting out what you owned. The family with a good plow team did custom work on the neighbor's fields, paid by the acre. A sewing machine, a sturdy ladder, a set of good tools, anything useful earned its keep when it wasn't being used at home. They understood something we forgot. An idle asset is inventory. Today you can rent out tools, equipment, a trailer, even storage space in the garage. Walk through what you already own and ask the old question, what is this earning on the days I'm not using it? Quick note before we continue, if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It helps the channel a lot. And comment below, what's one skill your grandparents used to make money? All right, back to it. 4 left. They get more surprising as we go, and the last one is the one I promised you. The forgotten trade that could feed a family straight through the winter. Number 12, lessons at the kitchen table. Piano lessons, penmanship, arithmetic coaching for the boy who was falling behind. Even in the leanest years, parents found small change for their children's improvement. And when they couldn't pay in coins, they paid in eggs or preserves or a chicken. The teacher took it because it all spent. The modern version is tutoring, music lessons, coaching, much of it online now, from that same kitchen table. The skill you take completely for granted is a subject somebody nearby is trying to learn. Number 13, handmade goods. Soap made in the kitchen, brooms bound by hand, quilts pieced from worn-out clothes, and braided rag rugs made from the scraps of the scraps. These sold at church sales and on consignment at the general store, and they sold because they were good. Here's the twist my grandmother would have laughed at. Old-fashioned is now the premium label. Handmade soap, quilts, and woodwork command prices today that would have stunned the people who made them out of necessity. The marketplace moved online. The value of careful hands didn't move at all. Number 14, the free inventory of the woods. Berries picked by the pail and sold door to door. Nuts gathered in the fall, wild greens in the spring. And near any good fishing water, worms and minnows, dug and trapped by kids and sold as bait to the men on the bank. Nature restocked the shelves for free, and the only cost was labor. People still pay for wild blackberries at a market table, and bait still sells beside every busy lake. It's a small entry in the ledger, but it taught children the whole game. Look around, gather value, find the buyer. Quick note before we continue, if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It helps the channel a lot. And comment below, what's one skill your grandparents used to make money? All right, back to it. We're almost done, but the last one is the most important. This is the big one, number 15, the boarding table. Not renting a room this time, setting a table. A woman known for her cooking would serve a big midday dinner, every working day, to men who had jobs but no wife or mother nearby. Boarders, railroad crews, shop clerks. They paid by the week for a seat at that table, and she planned, shopped, and cooked like the small restaurant owner she truly was. Others packed box lunches and sold them at the factory gate. As long as anyone in town was still working, the woman who could feed them had income all winter, every winter. Today we call it meal prep, and busy families pay well for it. Same rules apply as the baking, learn your local food rules first. But the trade itself never died, it's just waiting. If you only remember one thing from this video, remember this. The trade itself never died, it's just waiting. So to recap, number 1, taking in a boarder. Number 2, egg money from a backyard flock. Number 3, taking in laundry for steady income. Number 4, mending and making clothes last. Number 5, bread and pie money from the oven. Number 6, a market garden and roadside stand. Number 7, the junk round, finding value in discards. Number 8, the fix-it trade, repairing what's broken. Number 9, the odd job round, asking for work door to door. Number 10, hauling with what you had, like a truck or wagon. Number 11, renting out what you owned for extra cash. Number 12, lessons at the kitchen table, sharing skills for payment. Number 13, handmade goods, turning crafts into income. Number 14, the free inventory of the woods, foraging for sales. And number 15, the boarding table, providing meals for workers. If this helped you, subscribe because next time I'm covering more forgotten financial wisdom from the past. And comment below, which of these skills do you think is most useful today? I read every one. Thanks for watching.